if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly...
Hey guys, Coach Dan here. I'm a exercise and sports scientist and a coach of people and personal trainer for the last 10 years. And today I'm going to go through my lower body workout. Now, the unique thing about this lower body workout is that I've been working through a hamstring adductor kind of issue, which is limiting me as far as some of my exercise selection and stuff like that. So I've been having to work around that recently. Today I was considering adding some stuff back in, but I'm going to be cautious, which is unlike me, and kind of stick to what I know will work. And maybe at the end I'll try a couple of things which, see if I can go through things with limited range of motion or something like that to bring them back on board. So in this workout, normally I've been doing like a stiff-legged deadlift on a belt squat. I've been doing a rear foot elevated Smith machine split squat, but neither of those feels too good at the moment. Leg press doesn't feel too good, or hasn't recently, so with this issue. So I've been having to work around this. I am week 6 into a fat loss phase as well, so I don't want to just not do anything and risk some muscle loss. I want to make sure the muscle that I do have I can retain as good as possible, as much as possible, and to kind of just avoid everything would not be as good as just kind of getting work into these muscle groups, even if it's not in my preferred way or with my preferred exercises. So on the cards we go with, I've been doing a stiff-legged deadlift on the belt squat. That might be able to be introduced in the near future, but just with demonstrating with clients and stuff like that, I think it's probably worth at least waiting till next week. So instead, I'm just going to do a pretty standard lying hamstring curl. Now, what I've also been doing with that one to kind of, again, as of like the last 2 weeks, is make it at a higher rep range. So we have lower weight, higher reps, still going close to fatigue. It just means less force going through those tissues, so hopefully less risk of injury or hurting or aggravating my thing. And it's unusual that the lying hamstring curl doesn't hurt it, but it doesn't. Machine abduction, so getting on the machine, leaning forward, knees out to the side for a glute stimulus for today. Again, that has been a rear foot elevated Smith machine split squat, but not for the time being. That's actually where I first noticed this issue. Then we go leg extension. Now, I have already done leg extension this week on my other day, but again, it's one of the only movements that feels awesome as far as quad exercises go. Anything where I kind of sit down into a squat or a leg press, hack squat, etc. doesn't feel pleasant, so we'll go leg extension again. But what we shall do to kind of vary it a little bit, we might do what's called myo-rep matching. So myo-rep matching would be doing one set at a particular weight. Let's say I'm going to do something at, something I can do for 10 to 15, I get 13. With the following 2 sets, I'm going to get 13 reps, no matter how many sets or mini sets it takes, right? So as fatigue kicks in, might have to break it up. So e.g., set 1, 13 reps, set 2, I only get 9, then I have to get 4. Set 3, I get 6, and then I get 4, and then I get 2, and then I get 1, but we accumulate 13 reps again. So that is a nice little intensity technique just to mix it up, because I've already done leg extension this week. And then on this day as well, what comes up next is all good. So we're going belt squat calf raise. That works fine, no issue there. And then also our ab work is GHD sit-up. So all good as far as those two go. In all, these workouts, they're not, the funnest ones ever. But like I said, it's about, we got to stimulate the muscles in some way, and we find the stuff that we can do. We don't just go crying all the way home because we can't do the things we like. We just, again, for the end result and the goal, we get a little bit done. It might not be the funnest, but at least we're not kind of doing nothing. So that's where my head's at, and that's how I'm justifying it to myself. So let's head to the hamstring curl first. Okay, we have the lying hamstring curl first. So, if I tell you a story, it goes like this. When I first hurt my leg, I thought it was a hamstring issue. Could come on and do things like hamstring curls, seated lying hamstring curls, seated hamstring curls, no dramas, which led me to believe, maybe it's a adductor issue, like an adductor magnus issue, which has some adduction, and it also helps with things like hip extension, which the hamstring is also responsible for. that's that really. So, but regardless, it's kind of in that area that kind of feels somewhat hamstringy, but potentially adductory. So we're working around it. But yeah, hamstring curls feels good. Just to be certain, I'm going to do it in, I've been doing it in the higher rep range, so less forces through the tissue. Hopefully that can help out as well. Yeah, maybe we start to introduce some stuff back in next week. Fingers crossed, that'll make me a happy little boy. But nothing to the lying hamstring curl. They'll be in gyms the world over, pretty much. We want to set this leg pad kind of on the back of the ankle. If it's right up the leg, that'll be fine, but essentially you'll be lifting more weight than you need to. If it's right down by the ankle, you kind of make it hard on yourself. Heels come to butt, control the way down, touch the bottom, heels to butt. And that's the hamstring curl. So I'll aim for my first set to be around about 20 reps versus normally on this I might do something like 8 to 12, and again just making it a little bit lighter, still go nice and close to failure, still get a good benefit from it, and still cry myself to sleep tonight. All right, let's go. Alright, machine abduction next. So abduction being pushing the legs away from your midline or yourself, essentially adduction coming towards. Now the abduction component would be done by a group of muscles, glutes being one of them, and some of the other things that pull your leg out essentially and rotate your leg. So we're doing that version today. The adduction version that I've done before on here, where you drag the leg in, that hasn't felt good yet since dingling my little leg thing here. So yeah, we got abduction for the glutes because on this day I was doing a split squat, and that is where I initially had this issue with my leg. So we do this for today and for now until we can kind of work some of that stuff back in potentially, or we build up with this over the course of time. I've got the yoga blocks here, and that's just going to increase range of motion. So for this one here, like there's a gap like that big in between my legs. So if I can get my legs towards one another, get a better stretch on my glutes, that's potentially more effective. That's number one. So I'll get those in there like that as a setup thing. Bit of a tight squeeze, but once you kind of get them in there, they're good to go. They just chill there, and then we have a nice range of motion. The other thing I'll do is I'll lean forward into it and then drive out like such. Now, as far as the glutes go, so you think about the glutes being a hip extender, so like that hip thrusting kind of motion. So to stretch them out more, we want to flex the hips. So leaning forward into this position with good posture helps stretch them out. This, pushing my legs further in, helps stretch them out as well. So we kind of hopefully make it more effective than just doing it like such. And if you're a smaller person, if you have really big legs and stuff like that, you might be sweet not to do this because your legs might already be kissing. But for me, I've got this gap in here. So using these helps with that range of motion. So that's that. Smaller person, get these yoga blocks. I use them for lots of different things. I'll even go on leg extension in a second, use them on that. Hack squat, use on that. If a machine just doesn't get the range of motion that you want, easy peasy. All right, let's get after it. All right, next up we have the belt squat calf raise. I want to see if I can get away with just putting my Crocs into athletic mode to do this and not have to put shoes on, because I'm feeling pretty lazy. So, good thing about doing the calf raise on the belt squat, we unload the spine, so we're not putting a bar on your back like a Smith machine. The resistance is pretty good on this one, and yeah, so feels effective. A nice little variation, things like leg press variation, Smith mosh, they're all good. This is no better or worse, it's just another variation throwing there. Normally on this day I also use this for another exercise, so it's quite efficient. So we'll take this belt, we got one clip on here for me because that's all the height I need. Clip it in the end because we're going to be off the edge of the thing and we want it nice and close. Here, stretch down, raise up. Stretch, raise. That's it. So we get a bit of calves in here. I think I'm going to be able to get away without just doing my Crocs, so I'm happy about that. Let's add 5 extra and then get on with it. Alright guys, that's a wrap on the workout. Missed abs there because I've got to get out of here and go pick up my daughter. But all in all, that was, it's done now I suppose. Yeah, again, like that's not doing the favourite things on leg day that I like to do, some of the big compound movements. But again, while we're working around each, if we get work into most of the muscle groups of the legs, yes. So we're happy about that. We're happy that we could get some stuff done and we're not completely ruled out of everything. So, you know, you got to take the good with the bad sometimes, and that's, you know, that's lower body. Hopefully I'll get back this afternoon when I have a break between clients and do some of my ab work. But I was going to do a GHD sit-up, about 4 sets, 8 to 15 reps, which I can put a clip in here so you can see what it is. But it's on all of the lower body days I do this one, so you can go back and check those out. And yeah, that's all I really got for you. Yeah, it's, you know, energy levels are low, and when energy levels are low, it's hard to kind of hurt as well. Like, it takes resilience to want to hurt, and when you don't have the energy to hurt and you've got to do something that hurts, how many times can I say hurts? It's pretty tough. So you got to get in there and try and hurt as best you can and hold on and push and push and push, and it feels like it takes a lot more effort. So, but that's where we're at, right? We're not too far off though, 3 or 4 weeks to go. We'll keep grinding it out. We keep, you know, doing our best as far as this fat loss phase goes, and then we can come out the back end happy with our efforts, you know? All right, as always, if you're liking the content and my shaved head, click the little button up here for a subscription. Very helpful for the channel. If you want to watch another video, click this bad boy here. And as always, it's about progress over perfection. Coach Dan, signing off.